They've done a great job of rigging this. They've done a great job of rigging this league. The league, they're not even being subtle. They're not even being subtle. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
I can't believe what I'm about to say. The Indiana Fever, with the strongest, loudest, most intimidating home court advantage in all the WNBA, just got robbed at home. I saw it with my own two eyes live on CBS.
But I will just say the lopsided officiating was absolutely insane.
This is another year and another case of WNBA referees dropping the ball, not making the right calls when it comes to Caitlin Clark.
I feel like I'm getting hammered. I don't know. I appreciate Christy getting a tech too. Like, I don't know.
It is kind of interesting that Caitlin Clark hasn't been to the free throw line at all.
This is the best passing connection I can remember since John Stockton was feeding Karl Malone back in the Utah days.
It was one of the worst referee games I've seen.
The referees for again, what, the second game in a row, I guess? Definitely for the second game of the season, the referees swallowed their freaking whistles.
Imagine a league that's finally booming, drawing millions of new eyes only to repeatedly shoot itself in the foot. Imagine blatant favoritism so obvious, coaches are literally calling it out in press conferences. That's not a hypothetical. That's the WNBA right now, and their latest championship preview just exposed how truly rigged this league feels. If it wasn't already the Indiana Fever versus the world, now we've got undeniable proof. This isn't just about a few missed calls. It's a pattern that threatens to derail everything Caitlin Clark has built. Let's dive into the absolute chaos, but first, if you're as fed up with this officiating as I am, smash that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered sports analysis. Done? Fever's recent game against the reigning champion New York Liberty had everything you'd want. Star power, high stakes, a sold-out crowd in Indianapolis, and the energy of a playoff game. For many, it felt like a championship preview. Two of the league's most exciting teams going head-to-head in front of a national audience. It should have been a major win for the WNBA, but of course, it's the WNBA, so naturally there had to be controversy. And once again, it came from the refs. The Indiana Fever, with the strongest, loudest, most intimidating home court advantage in all the WNBA, just got robbed at home. I saw it live, with my own eyes. Just like last season, fans were left scratching their heads or straight up yelling at their screens. The outrage was swift. Social media lit up with fans and analysts calling it out. But the controversy isn't just about a few missed calls, brutal as they were. The real issue is that this is part of a much bigger pattern. A pattern that started last year, got worse in the preseason, and now is reaching a boiling point just a few games into the regular season. If you think I'm exaggerating, just wait until you hear some of the stats about how lopsided the officiating has been against the Fever this season. It's not just one or two games, it's every game, and the numbers are downright embarrassing for the league. It's gotten so bad that even the Fever have had enough. Head coach Stephanie White didn't hold back after the Liberty game. It wasn't vague, it wasn't diplomatic, it was a straight up warning shot. And even Caitlin Clark, who usually keeps it cool, threw in a little dig of her own. What we're about to see isn't some one-off bad night by the refs. It's a long, frustrating, borderline dangerous pattern that goes all the way back to last season. From the moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, it was obvious she was going to be treated differently. The physicality ramped up, players were taking extra liberties, and the referees, they swallowed their whistles. It started early and often, and there were moments last year where Caitlin looked visibly rattled, stating, "I feel like I'm getting hammered." Then of course you had the Kennedy Carter incident, the hit heard round the league. Caitlin got blindsided off the ball in what was clearly a frustration foul, and what did the refs do? They called it a common foul, not a flagrant. It was the boiling point for many fans. If that wasn't going to get upgraded in real time, what would? And the non-calls didn't stop there. They followed Caitlin right into the playoffs, where she was hacked on layups with no whistle. You could make an entire documentary out of the missed calls alone. Look, nobody's asking for a bubble wrap rule book here. Players are always going to play Caitlyn hard because she's Caitlyn Clark. That comes with a target on your back. But the problem, the consistency just hasn't been there. Things didn't get any better in the preseason. Caitlyn Clark wasn't getting any free throws. 0. And it's not because she wasn't getting fouled. It's because the refs were flat out ignoring it. In the first few games alone this season, there's already a clear pattern. Clark drives, takes contact, gets hacked, and nothing. Whistles stay in the pockets. Eventually, the frustration boiled over. You could see it in her body language, and you could definitely feel it when she picked up a tech just for pointing out the obvious. Still, some people brushed it off, saying, it's just early season stuff, that things would settle down and the officiating would get more consistent. Well, the Fever's marquee matchup against the Liberty was the perfect test. And before we get into the controversy, let's be clear, this was a great game full of drama. The crowd was loud, the energy was playoff level, and both teams showed out. Caitlyn and Aaliyah Boston's chemistry was obvious. Caitlyn was threading the needle on passes, and Aaliyah was finishing strong in the paint. Even on an off night, Caitlyn still delivered the kind of moments that remind you exactly who she is. Tough shots, jaw-dropping passes, sequences that blew the roof off the building. The entertainment value was there, but when the final whistle blew, none of that was the headline. All anyone could talk about was the referees. The imbalance in foul calls was clear as day. The Liberty were living at the free throw line, getting 32 attempts. Meanwhile, the Fever just 15. That's more than double. In a close game like this, that kind of disparity isn't just noticeable, it's decisive. And it wasn't just the quantity, it was how the fouls were called. The Liberty were getting fouls, while Caitlyn and her teammates were getting body checked with no whistle. It felt like two different rule books were in play, and then there's this. Caitlyn Clark, just like in the preseason and just like all of last season, was getting hacked, and the refs just let it go. No calls, no protection. At some point, it starts to feel deliberate, like they're sending a message to the rest of the league. When it comes to guarding Caitlyn Clark, it's open season. They've made it a point that this is how you beat the Fever. You hack them. It's not being physical, you just hack them because the referees are going to allow it. But if the overall officiating wasn't already brutal, the final moments of the game absolutely clinched it. Tie game, game on the line. The Fever are in perfect position for a chance to steal a win against the reigning champs. And then the refs took over. First, with the game tied and the Fever looking to take the lead, Dana Bonner drove to the basket and got hammered. Huge body contact, everything you'd expect to trigger a whistle, but nothing. Then came the phantom foul. Lexi Hall played textbook defense on Sabrina Ionescu and wasn't the one to initiate contact, and yet 2 free throws were awarded. It was the ultimate gut punch, and unfortunately, the refs weren't done. With one last chance to tie or win the game, Caitlyn Clark was fouled multiple times, and the refs swallowed the whistle. Caitlyn was absolutely furious. You could see it on her face immediately, arms out, yelling in disbelief. And the wildest part, the refs wouldn't even look her in the eye. Analysts were in absolute disbelief. Caitlyn Clark shooting a shot, and Natasha Howard does the dumbest thing she can possibly do by fouling Caitlyn Clark on a 3-point shot, and you ignored it, one exclaimed, pointing out multiple fouls on the play. Fans absolutely lost it across social media. This wasn't just about a missed call or two. This game's inconsistency screamed that the anti-Caitlyn and anti-Fever bias is still alive and well. Fans pointed out that Clark was getting mauled on drives with no whistles, while her opponents were being gift-wrapped free throws for glancing contact. The WNBA referees are getting destroyed online, and honestly, they're getting crushed during every single game. The WNBA referees, is this what it's about? Because they're the worst referees in the history of any referees. And that's the thing, it's not just a one-off, it's a pattern, a trend, a stat-backed reality. This season, the Fever are minus 31 in free throw opportunities. That is a staggering gap. In a league where games are often decided by just a few possessions, being on the wrong end of a 30-plus free throw swing isn't just a red flag, it's a 5-alarm fire. Usually, players and coaches bite their tongues. They try to stay neutral. They chalk it up to just part of the game. But when you stack up this kind of imbalance with all the missed calls, the non-whistles, the game-changing moments that consistently go against them, something needed to be said. And Stephanie White, she said it loud and clear. She'd had enough. It's taken 4 games for Stephanie White to say, you know what? I've had absolute enough. Today was the last straw. In her post-game press conference, Stephanie White didn't hold back. She went straight at the officiating, calling out the obvious disrespect that had been building all season. She thought Caitlyn got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games, she stated, referencing the -31 free throw discrepancy. I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim, and the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing that it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways. This isn't something coaches want to do, but when it gets this blatant, you don't have a choice. At some point, you have to speak up. Not only is it a tactic to get a better whistle from the refs, but it's also a powerful statement to her team. I've got your backs. That kind of leadership builds trust, especially for a new team still figuring each other out. As for Caitlyn, she was the one who got fouled on the final play. No whistle, no help. Everyone wanted to know how she felt about it. And while she didn't throw the refs under the bus, she didn't hide her frustration either. Her answer said enough without saying it outright. Yeah, not my best shooting night. Thought I could have taken care of the ball a little bit better. Had some tough ones where my arm was getting grabbed, but whatever. But yeah, just keep fighting through it. Keep shooting it. And then you had Aaliyah Boston, who went with the classic no comment approach. She kept it cool, kept it professional, but the silence said everything. When asked how she accepts officiating without letting it affect her game, her response was telling. When it comes to accepting it, it's like we don't really have a choice. They're going to call what they want to call. Here's the thing, worse than how the officiating impacted the outcome of this game is the fact that it's been an ongoing problem, and it's making the league look bad. Caitlin Clark has brought in an entirely new audience. Fans who may be new to the WNBA, but not new to basketball. These people know the game. They know what a foul looks like. They know when a whistle's fair and when it's complete garbage. And more importantly, they're watching every night, every play. So when they see one team consistently getting the benefit of the doubt while another team can't buy a call, they're not confused. They're annoyed. And it's not just Caitlin Clark games. There's frustration around the league with WNBA veterans like Chelsea Gray openly confronting refs about holds. Right now, the league is trying to turn Caitlin Clark fans into full-time WNBA fans. But instead of seizing the moment, they're shooting themselves in the foot. The officiating has been sloppy, inconsistent, and at times flat out embarrassing. And when you stack that on top of viral low-light reels like Angel Reese grabbing 5 offensive rebounds off her own misses in under 20 seconds, it sends the worst possible message. This isn't just bad basketball, it's a branding disaster. You can't promote star players who are either getting hacked with no calls or playing worse than your kid brother on a plastic hoop in the driveway. More eyes are watching now than ever before, and every missed call, every blown assignment, every biased whistle, it all plays out in front of millions. This isn't the time for unforced errors, and it definitely isn't the time for favoritism. It's getting ugly, and the Fever, they've had enough. Their coach has spoken, their players are feeling it, the fans are furious. The question is, will the league step up before it's too late? Because they've got the moment, they've got the audience. But if they don't get it together fast, they're going to lose both. What do you think? Are these just bad calls, or is there something more intentional at play? Let me know in the comments below, and if you're tired of the bias, hit that like button and subscribe for more real talk.